A suburban teacher's getting a special surprise this morning. Roseanne live in Arlington Heights with all the details. Roseanne.
Well, good morning, Sylvia. The secret is out, and the surprise went off without a hitch here in the Hersey High School Theater, where automotive technology teacher Jim Van Bladel got a big surprise. It was rolled out in that giant toolbox, that great big check. Our cameras were rolling when Harbor Freight Tools for Schools presented him with a $50,000 check to recognize excellence in skilled trades education. Van Bladel is credited with turning the program around here at Hersey High School. But it was the testimonials from his students that brought everyone to tears.
When I was going through problems regarding foster care, I didn't always know where I would be sleeping. Things like that make learning way harder. I knew no one at home would notice that I wasn't at school. I knew that Van Bladel would notice. Feeling like someone supports you and wants you to succeed makes even the most basic things like getting out of bed in the morning a little easier.
To see that what you're doing does have an impact and that it gives the kids a direction. A lot of times teachers don't know that. So to have a kid sitting 2 feet away from you saying that what you do has helped them and is important to them, as you can see, it kind of hits pretty hard.
Wow, this is some powerful stuff here. That student, Maggie Murray, said that she called Mr. Van Bladel one of the most influential people in her life. And one of his colleagues here at the school called him the embodiment of an excellent educator, somebody who goes above and beyond in and outside of the classroom. Sylvia, you know I love the Good News Patrol, and we definitely had a great story here today.
What a beautiful, beautiful story. And I'm sure we're going to learn more about him later on at noon. Thanks for sharing, Roseanne. Makes you smile. We appreciate it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dave Morrison is a legendary teacher. Anyone that saw his bands knew that there was really something special going on, and it was because of him. It was because of the teacher, the guy in the middle all the time.
It's so amazing to see my dad recognized for all of his hard work. You know, I got to see behind the curtain. I was home watching how both my parents cared so much about the music program, and I know how much of their heart was poured into their work, and so to see him recognized in a way where that will live on and be a part of all of the future band directors and the future students that come through that band room is really, really special.
So at this time, it is my immense pleasure to welcome today's guest of honor, Mr. Morrison.
I'm just blown away by it. I mean, I cannot believe it. All the good things that have happened today, but on top of that, seeing people coming back and telling me stories of things, some of the things I can't remember, that made a difference to them. You know, you realize as a teacher, everything you do is making a difference to somebody. And with these folks, a very positive difference. So I feel very gratified by that.
Dave is an unbelievable musician, and he was that factor, and the way he did it was by just pushing quality and excellence in everything they did. And he was just relentless in getting his students to play their very best all the time.
I don't think that it's going to help for any of us to go, oh, I can't try because it's hot. You know, just go outside. You're going to be hot whether you do your best or not. I think it's real important you understand that you're not going to be a great band come September. It starts today. It starts this week.
You have a vision of what you want things to be, and you just, I guess, work really hard to achieve that vision. And you try something, if it doesn't work, then you modify it and try something else. The main thing is just never giving up. You're just going to keep going until you figure things out. When I started out, I didn't have any really high-level marching band experience of my own. I just kind of fumbled around until I got it right, you know, and I just fell in love with it. I saw some great marching bands that this is what we want to do. And the heart of a really good marching band is the concert band, the playing, and worked very, very hard with that. So when we played outside, it's like, yeah, this really sounds good. It's not just a bunch of kids out there, you know, beating drums and blowing horns. It's making music. And so I just had a lot of determination, I guess. I want to thank all my former students and their parents and the staff and administration here for supporting these kids and helping me achieve with them.
Hi, I'm Edward Subb. I'm the PAC instructor for this year. Right, the course is Practical Architecture and Construction. Seems to be no power in the garage today. We've been left a lot of free items and gifts from the previous owners here. We are on site here at 2804 Fremont Street in Rolling Meadows, and we are inside the house that we will be remodeling this school year. Come into the kitchen, but everything's coming out. These old houses in Rolling Meadows had the washer and dryer in the kitchen area, so that'll all be changed. And if you can picture it, this entire wall with the cabinets is going to get removed. So the whole idea of the first floor is we're going to have this big open concept.
Hey, I'm Chuck Jarasek, new PAC assistant here. I look around this house and I see a lot of opportunity for our students to experience every bit of construction and rehab, and I hope the bones are good.
The oddity of the old Rolling Meadows houses. Gas meter on the inside of the house.
Hello, I am Luis Alanis. I am one of the PAC instructors in here. This house is going to be a challenge for us and for the students.
So here we have the first floor bathroom. As you can see, a lot of it is in disrepair. Design stuff is a little bit obsolete, so this is another thing. Everything's getting taken out. With this project, I'm very excited to actually work on this with the students. We are going to be taking everything out on the inside, right? A gut job, a complete rehab, taking everything down to the studs. So in this closet here in one of the bedrooms, we do have a set of stairs that goes up somewhere into the attic possibly. Very narrow. There's no lights in here. I don't believe that one works. And whoa. It actually doesn't go into the attic. It just ends in this small little cubby. So it's kind of a little hideaway section. I'm really glad that we actually have this house in this condition because it really provides so many opportunities for the students to be able to learn and experience what is involved in remodeling a house and to experience a lot of different things in the trades. All right, so I'm very excited to get started on this project with the students. I'm very excited that you will be able to follow us and experience through the lens of the camera the journey that we are going to experience.
I'm super excited to be here with all of these amazing 214 students to work at our Voices of D214 Festival, the inaugural one of these, where we can get all of our students together to sing, learn about ourselves as human beings, and think about how the music in our life impacts the decisions that we make.
I understand that I'm singing with purpose. I understand that I'm singing this with music that has history. Okay? Sing it with that sound. 1, 2, altos now. Swing down, chariot stopping, let me ride.
So today we are just reminding all of ourselves, including myself, that we're going to make beautiful choral music, not with the intention of making it pristinely perfect, but instead create this music that is serving of the human spirit to come together in music and in community, and because we only get to be this choir for this one quick day, and so we're thrilled to be able to share today.
Oh, run me, Lord, come and easy. I've got a home on the other side.
So I'm excited to do this today with my amazing partner in life, Professor Sarah Catt from Elmhurst University, but she really got all these D214 roots as a Wheeling grad herself and then an Elk Grove former teacher. So it's a unique experience today because typically Professor Catt and I would do different festivals in different ways. So we both do a lot of these kinds of things, but working together as a partnership today is really unique. We've only done that a few times as a team. Ready and go.
There will be a day when you can say you're okay and mean it.
It's really amazing, I'm not gonna lie. It's a ton of new people just with me and singing. Honestly, it was nice to meet the Mr. and Mrs. Catt too, because I thought they were gonna be all strict like my past choir teachers, but really they were just like joking with us and having fun. I'm glad I was here, to be honest.
music is a resource. It's a tool to help us cope with the craziness of the world that we live in. It helps us in the times that are hard. It helps us in the times that are amazing. And it should be a part of every one of our pathways as we continue to go through our curriculum and we move into the rest of our lives. And so today we're trying to help remind our students of that.
I am just humbled to be able to make music with them. And at the end of the day, I'm just a human alongside on this journey of life, being able to create this powerful music and lifting each other up while we're doing it.
Heineman.
Present.
Kreutzer. Present. Palmer. Present. Petro. Rauch.
Present.
Walker.
Present.
Dessling.
Here. Would you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have minutes from the September 15th open and closed session and the October 6th workshop. Could I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the workshop on October 6th and the business meeting for September 19th, but I'd like to consider the closed session minutes separate.
Okay. Second. Please call roll.
Rauch.
Aye.
Heineman.
Aye.
Kreutzer.
Aye.
Palmer. Walker. Dessling.
Yes. And the closed session for September 15th. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Rauch?
I'd like to amend them to include the memo of understanding of it for the IGA with the Barrington District, please.
That, I thought that,
Okay.
I thought that had to be considered an open.
It was voted on in open.
Yeah.
Yep.
We voted on it in open session. I'm not sure the closed minutes has to reflect that.
I don't think it can be amended.
They can, and we can incorporate it. It's a public document, so we can put it in the closed session as well as the open. That's fine.
That's fine.
It's
We'll
fine.
do that. We have a motion and a second.
Yes.
Okay, please call the roll.
Kreutzer.
Aye.
Palmer. Aye. Heineman.
Aye.
Rauch.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Dessling.
Yes.
Minutes approved as amended.
Board recognition, Dr. Schuler.
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Mr. Patrick Moggy, our Director of Community Engagement and Outreach, to facilitate the board recognition portion of our program.
Thank you, Dr. Schuler. Would you, Board President Dessling and Board Member Hyman, please join me for partner recognition?
Tonight, we are recognizing longtime partner IKEA Schaumburg for its support in providing workplace learning experiences for our students. This evening, we welcome from IKEA Schaumburg Susan Bursa, People and Culture Manager, and Jen Preston, our Market Manager. If you would, please join us up front. IKEA Schaumburg is our biggest work site for special education students to gain valuable work-based learning experiences during the school day. We've been partnering with them since the fall of 2001. Over 500 District 214 students have participated in a work experience at IKEA Schaumburg. For many, it was their first work experience. Currently, we have 27 students working at this location. One of our former students was hired in 2001 and still works at IKEA Schaumburg today. She turns 40 this year. IKEA Schaumburg was the first work site to open their doors to high school students in November of 2020 after the COVID shutdown in March. They have recently taken students for interior design internships as well. IKEA Schaumburg provides students the experience of working for a large retail corporation, working in a customer space, working side by side with a large number of employees, working in a busy environment, having specific work projects shipped to the Schaumburg location for our students as well. Thank you to IKEA Schaumburg for our ongoing partnership in providing work-based learning experiences for our students. It is relationships like this that empower our students and teach them the skills they need to succeed both personally and professionally. Thank you again.
For the board recognition video this evening, we'd like to show a video from our Life program.
Baba, hi. Maybe you can do this.
The CLS program is the Career Life Skills Program. This is a district-wide program for students with cognitive disabilities. All students from across the district come to John Hersey High School and participate in a foundational program which develops independent living skills for students in the Career Life Skills Program.
Who wants pepperoni? Raise your hand if you want pepperoni. One.
Yeah, I have pepperoni.
Oh, then you should raise your hand.
This is a cooking class that we have for students with intellectual disabilities. They're practicing all sorts of different skills for life. They learn how to read a recipe, they make a shopping list, we go to the store, they find the ingredients, we buy the ingredients, and they learn how to cook. They're also learning all of the kitchen utensils. They're learning how to use all of our different appliances, where items go in the kitchen.
Where does this go? Got it.
This program's amazing. It is a huge community of students. They really get a great experience in moving from class to class. They get to take electives and things that they're interested in. They truly get a real high school experience here, and the feeling that you get walking through these doors and coming into a classroom is just amazing.
Courtney, wave your camera. I'm a teacher aide in Miss Brownlee's work class, and this is a class where the CLS students learn about different jobs. What do we get when we're done working?
Money.
Yeah, we get money.
From Miss Brownie.
Yep, we get money from Miss Brownlee. Remember, not too many at one time. And so throughout the period, they each work on different skill sets, and then at the end of the period, Miss Brownlee gives them paper money, which then they can either save up or use in a little store that they have in the classroom to buy things that they want.
Hello.
Can you say your name?
My name is David Allende.
David, me and him work together a lot. He is not very verbal, so he uses an app on his iPad called Touch Chat, and we like to eat lunch together, and we're always kind of walking around together, and he likes to help out and fill my water bottle, and it's really fun. He's my best friend. I know you like the cameras.
One of our major social and experiential events is the big game, which we have at the beginning of every school year. The entire school participates to bring this game to fruition. It's a great event that reflects the kindness, the compassion, and the excitement of the Hersey community. Our students meet and greet a lot of general education students. This past homecoming, one of our students was elected to royalty, and he was a part of the royal court.
So it feels happy and exciting, and it's like for the people. So because we are the Huskies, and we stick together as one.
This garden it has cucumbers, tomatoes, red peppers. If they're ready to pick, we can give it to kitchen the people who's cooking, and they can cook for lunch.
There are a lot of opportunities for our students to develop their independent living skills. Some of those are, we operate a micro business called Brewed Awakenings, which is our coffee business. It's a vibrant business where the students come up and purchase a cup of coffee from us. We also have a graphics class, which we co-teach with the general ed teacher.
You know, this is a fabulous experience. They'll learn from beginning to end how to make a t-shirt. They'll learn from beginning to end how to make a vinyl. I just think that this opportunity for them to have this class is awesome. Greg Miller does a great job. It's so much fun.
We also have a strong work program by which our students participate when they are seniors. They work half of the day and develop those work skills and attitudes by being a part of community-related businesses.
We just sort them up and like stand them so people can see their adorable little faces, so then maybe they can buy them for a little kid.
So our students have a lot of opportunities to get out into the community and practice their social skills, their work habits, work attitudes, and to understand the necessity of being a part of the community. So Hersey is a great place where our students can practice their social skills, interact and interface and be connected to their community. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity and a great experience for all of our students to be a part of this amazing, open, friendly, and welcoming community.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. We're now at the time where members of the public, especially residents of 214, are welcome to contribute public comments. You must be signed up before the start of the meeting. I think we have 3 people signed up today.
We have 3 people that signed up, Mr.
Okay.
President.
The Board of Education welcomes public comments at this time on non-agenda items. There are also 2 other opportunities to address the board during the meeting. The first is following an action item presentation or a board discussion before the vote. The second is followed by discussion items presentation. We do have 3 people who identified themselves to address the board tonight. We believe in free speech, and as a board and district, we value comments from the community at our meetings and through emails. As a board and district, we always try to communicate back with dignity and consideration. Members of your Board of Education are members of your communities. They are serving because they believe that the district should provide the best possible education for every student, and they believe they can assist, support, and work towards that belief. They volunteer their time. There is no salary provided for their service. Please offer comments regarding concerns about the district, but please try to present them in a fashion that provides dignity to the sender and consideration of the board members and district staff. The Board of Education asks each person to limit their comments to 3 minutes regarding their topics of concern. However, if several people want to address the board on similar topics, the board president may limit the time to 2 minutes per person. Although comments may be made on almost any matter related to the operation of schools, comments will not be allowed identifying individual students or staff members. The board appreciates everyone that takes time to appear before the board and treats all with courtesy and respect. The board practice is not to respond to public questions or comments at this time. However, we do listen carefully. If requested, a response will be provided. To be fair and consistent to everyone addressing the board, the same protocols and procedures must be in place for everyone. The green light indicates your time has started. The yellow light indicates 30 seconds are remaining, and the red light indicates your 3 minutes are done. Please come forward to the microphone and clearly state your name for the minutes. If you wish a written response, please make sure that Mrs. Keys has your full address clearly written on the sign-up sheet. Thank you very much, and we'll have Melissa Kayer come forward, please.
Melissa Kayer speaking. Abolish tax increment financing. Do not foist the risk on the students. Let the professional risk takers assume the position.
Thank you. Ewa Wojcik.
Good evening, my name is Eva Wójcik. District 214 makes it very hard for parents to object to books, even if they are pornographic. We read some of those books to this board, and we showed very graphic images, pornographic in nature. You noted some titles, it seemed, but nothing happened after that. Why is District 214 advocating porn? Is this really what you consider pleasure reading? I'm going to read a few passages from another book to you today, All Boys Aren't Blue. Please don't tell me such obscene books in the district school libraries are the reason our district is so great. You were fully erect at this point. You then grabbed my hand and made me touch it. By now we were both touching each other. I tried my best not to enjoy it because you were my cousin. There you stood in front of me, fully erect, and I said, taste it. Come on, Matt, taste it. This is what boys like us do when we like each other. I finally listened to you. I only did that for about 45 seconds before you had me stop. Then you got down on your knees and told me to close my eyes. That's when you began oral sex on me as well. After a minute or so, you stopped. You then laid me on the ground and got on top of me. You began humping me back and forth, never penetrating me though. You eventually got up off me and told me to come to the bathroom. You turned on the light and closed the door. You began stroking yourself in front of me. Just keep watching, Matt. He reached his hand down and pulled out my dick. He quickly went to giving me head. I just sat back and enjoyed it, as I could tell he was too. He was also definitely experienced in what he was doing, because he went to work quite confidently. He then came up and asked me if I wanted to try on him. I said sure. I slowed down and took my time and luckily got into a good rhythm. His body felt great in my mouth. We both got up and went into his bedroom where we got completely naked. I got behind him. I knew what I had to do even if I had never done it before. I had one point of reference though, and that was 7+ years of watching pornography. Although the porn was heterosexual, it was enough of a reference point for me to get the job done. I remember the condom was blue and flavored like cotton candy. I put some lube on it and got him up on his knees, and I began to slide into him from behind. I tried not to force it because I imagined that it would be painful, so I eased in slowly until I heard him moan. Nervous and drunk, I listened and got on my stomach. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. He then added more lube and tried again, which felt better but not much by much. He began his stroking motion. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. I am here for transparency, as parents need to know the D214 school board approves this type of material. Thank you.
Elizabeth Bauer.
So as board members may recall, about a year ago, I engaged in what turned out to be a fruitless endeavor to find out more about the academic achievement gaps in District 214. And by fruitless, I mean that my FOIA requests provided no results because I was told there were no documents discussing the achievement gaps available to be shared. What I want to address today is not disparities by ethnicity or income, but rather a different sort of disparity, one that matters to me more personally as a mother of 3 boys. Richard Reeves, a senior fellow at the Brookings think tank, which is by no means a conservative institution, has been researching the growing disparities between boys and girls. Spoiler alert, boys are doing much worse. In an article published just last week, he gathers some concerning statistics. In 2020, 41% of young women, but only 32% of young men had bachelor's degrees. In their estimates, 88.4% of girls, but only 81.9% of boys graduated high school on time. In terms of test scores, boys are now falling short of girls not just in English, where that's traditionally been the case, but also in math. This they rank by state, and Illinois has the 14th most extreme disparities, with boys half a grade behind in total, or by subject almost a full grade behind in English and 0.15 of a grade behind in math. Again, recall that the district was unwilling to provide any information that had not already been made public. And even in the Illinois report card, there aren't many data points which can be sliced and diced by sex. The percent of students going to college isn't one of them, for instance. As far as the SAT, district-wide, there's a 4 percentage point gap in favor of girls in English and a 2 percentage point gap in favor of males in math. This seems to fluctuate. It's hard to make sense of whether that's relevant. But there is a pronounced gap in the graduation rate, with 7% fewer boys than girls graduating on time at my son's home school of Meadows. And there's an even more pronounced gap in the rate at which boys and girls are enrolled in AP classes. Across the district, 21% fewer boys are enrolled in AP than girls. Even though the disparities are greatest at the schools with the most low-income kids, it's 31% at Wheeling, for instance, there is a striking disparity at Prospect as well, at 22%. Only at Hersey are there relatively even percentages of boys and girls enrolled in AP, with only 8% fewer boys. So it's frustrating that the district obliges the community to just take it on faith that there's nothing to see here, and provides no ways for family or the community to really know how our district is doing or what our district is doing to remedy these issues. And now that the two longest-serving board members have declared they are running for their 25th and 26th years on the board, respectively, and are claiming that they are qualified due to experience, leadership, and success, I suggest that they might want to demonstrate some kind of leadership in a public way with respect to this or any other issue. If anybody is interested, I have a few relevant graphs.
Okay, we have board member updates. Mr. Heineman?
Good evening. A Hersey teacher wins a $50,000 Harbor
Mis-
Freight tool.
Mr. Heineman, I'm sorry. I should have gone to superintendent's report.
I just have two Freedom of Information Act requests to report on that were complied with consistent with school code. S. Hillstrom requested curricular information, and R. Campbell requested transportation information.
Thank you very much. Mr. Heineman, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Thank you. A Hersey teacher won a $50,000 award from Harbor Freight Tools for school. Congratulations to Hersey teacher Jim Van Bladel. He was surprised with a $50,000 prize from Harbor Freight Tools for Schools. Jim teaches automotive technology. He's one of 20 teachers nationwide to be recognized for excellence in skilled trades education. TV Fox 32 came out and captured the emotional moment. At Prospect, I think it was last Saturday, Prospect gives back more. 200 students volunteered in the annual Prospect Gives Back Day earlier this month. It's a community service blitz where students work on various projects in Mount Prospect and Arlington Heights. The school teamed up with 17 community partners. The students did a wide variety of things, including singing at nursing home, planting flowers at Mount Prospect Public Works, cleaned at a church, helped run a 2K youth run, and more. It's always great to see our students give back. Last month, I also attended the Transportation Career Day at Wheeling High School. It was outdoors, and there were booths where students could talk to employers in many fields, including car dealerships, car aftermarket, accessory providers, military, airport, Chicago Executive Airport was well represented, and there were 3 different airlines that had booths also. There were also exotic cars, Porsche and Lamborghinis, and military vehicles that were on display and open for inspection by the students. It was extremely well attended, and the weather was perfect. In the last couple weeks, I've attended 2 exchange student welcomes at, both of them were at Prospect High School. First one was for Italian students, and a couple weeks later, French students had arrived. It's very exciting to see these students act as friends to the visitors rather than something alien. And it's just so good to see so much international activity. On Tuesday this week, I also received a proclamation from the Village Board of Mount Prospect proclaiming October 16th through 22 America's Safe School Week. And I have a copy of that. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Heineman. Ms. Rauch?
A few things. First of all, thank you to Buffalo Grove again for hosting our workshop 2 weeks ago. Really appreciated the hospitality. I thought it was a very productive workshop. Successful homecomings, I think we had over the past month, so great job, students and staff. Thank you for that socialization. And congratulations to all the bands who've been competing over the past 2 months. Great job there. And also to the NJROTC. I believe they were out in New Jersey and received a first out that way. So lastly, just a reminder that next Thursday, October 25th, from 6 to 8:20, there will be a virtual college and career ready night. So reminder for all parents and students, dial in, take a look at what D214 has to offer in the way of college and career ready. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the final football game tomorrow at Wheeling and Elk Grove High School. We will be dedicating that to the armed services. All active duty reservists, National Guardsmen, and veterans, including their families, will receive free entry. The game is tomorrow at Wheeling High School, 7 p.m. There'll be a special honor during halftime. You can reach out to Stephanie Kim to RSVP if anybody's interested. Another note about the game, the CBS Morning News will be coming to Wheeling tomorrow between 6:30 and 7 to do a flyover of the stadium. Students and staff will show up and pack the field. You can tune in Friday morning to watch on TV. And then this is, again, to promote the Military Appreciation Football game on Friday night. The military will be recognized and honored prior to the game in conjunction with the national anthem. Mark's already talked about the Transportation Day at Wheeling. It was a great day, and then our own D214 and Wildcat, Grace Berry, was recognized at NSSCO last week, Tuesday, and very special connection to Grace with our family, and it was a surprise. And that young woman who's a sophomore in high school now is really, really progressing. She's using an iPad with her voice to write stories, and she's always had a very creative mind, and she can write a novel if you give her the time. When my kids were much younger and she was still in grade school in 23, my kids started going over to help her read and read to her, so we became pretty connected. Such a joy to see the success that she's having with the people in 214 and then the teachers at Wheeling. So thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Ms. Kreitzer?
Thank you. Congratulations to Elk Grove High School football coach Miles Osei. He was named the Week 5 Coach of the Week by the Chicago Bears. 2 weeks ago, a representative from the Bears came out to Elk Grove High School to give him a custom hand-painted football and tickets to the game, where he will be honored during halftime. The Bears will be making a $2,000 donation to the team. Hersey High School's big game, and we just saw a little bit on the video, so cute. Hersey High School held its third annual big game. 60 special education students participated in an exclusive basketball game with the whole school cheering them on. It's really cool. I really like that video. Members of the school's basketball team helped coach and plan the event. The whole school raised more than $3,500 for the D214 Special Olympics. The event will be featured on ABC 7, where you can see a clip on our D214 Facebook page. Do they still hold the Special Education Olympics at Hersey?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, at the end of the year,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So here I am with my annual, like the swallows that return to Capistrano. Here I am talking about the delegate assembly. So each of you received the resolution committee report, and I'm waiting for a couple ballots. So I just want to give you a little update about Illinois Association of School Boards resolutions. Earlier this year, a subcommittee was formed to review resolutions as well as the Constitution. Both have never been reviewed. From this committee, core values were created, and the listing of core values is in the packet. This ensures that when resolutions are submitted to the resolution committee, it fits into the IASB core values. And what does this do? It assists not only in the Illinois delegates voting for items that fit into most districts, but it also helps the IASB staff when lobbying the legislature, as they have a clear vision. As we know, IASB's lobbying staff can sometimes have to track up to 600 bills in just one session. As director, I voted in favor of the core values. Constitutional amendments is something that's also in the that we'll be voting on this year, and it's in the ballot. There are 3 suggested changes to the ISB Constitution. 1, changes to the president and vice president, who will, if passed, hold office for 2 years, thus eliminating the second year for each to be elected for a second one-year term. 2, if passed, all resolutions will now require a 2/3 majority for delegate assembly passage, and that's a big deal, I have to tell you. 3, resolutions that receive a do not adopt will need a supermajority to be voted on to be heard. Now it's a simple majority. One final note, you may have noticed very few resolutions this year. As a matter of fact, there's just 8. Last year there was 23, I think. This is because in the Constitution, it allows the resolution committee to say, do not present. So this eliminated quite a few. I think there were 16 resolutions presented, and you can see that we're only voting on 8. So if you could, and the delegate assembly meets on the Saturday of the conference, and for those in the audience that need background information about this, every year, school districts submit resolutions to the school board, and in August, representatives from each division meet to discuss these resolutions. And then they're passed on to the delegates to hear in November. What happens was, if they get an affirmative vote, then this is used by the people at the IASB to lobby the state legislature. So these are really important issues that we discuss. So that's it. I'm done.
Thank you very much. Ms. Palmer?
Well, I have a few things to report on. One was at Rolling Meadows, the students were bonded with communities to go and repair some vandalism that occurred at the newly created mural.
Yep.
So while it's sad to even know that there was vandalism there, the community members came out, members from Rolling Meadows Public Works came out, students came out, and helped to kind of put it back to its state where it was before. And, you know, I love when I see the students getting involved in things that matter to them, and finding opportunities for community service. I was asked to come to Vanguard School earlier last week, I guess it was. It all kind of runs together. Students there were participating in a Get Out the Vote campaign, and as they have been across district, and going door to door with Legal Women Voters to just tell people about when to vote, how to vote, physically how to vote. In other words, where their polling places are, et cetera. And had an opportunity to talk to the students about the importance of voting in a democracy, about the importance of community service, and what community service means to me as a board member and as a human, which means a lot to me. So I think it's really important. The kids were great. They asked great questions, as they always do. When you get an opportunity to interact with kids here in district, they're terrific. Earlier today, we had one of those opportunities where we had the President's Student Advisory Council, which I was honored to participate in and hear from the students how, so there's a junior and senior from each school that comes to that, and to hear from them how they feel the school year has started, what their thoughts are on a variety of topics. The kids are engaging, well-spoken, doing so many things. They're really fabulous to hear what's going on in the different schools and the way that they're interacting at their schools. So I really loved that as well. D214 is actually leading the way together with 211 and 220 in Harper College in our career pathway endorsements. So there has been a change in, Governor Pritzker has signed a bill which requires schools to apply to offer at least one endorsement area next fall. Currently, we're offering, I believe, 5 endorsements, if I have that right. And, you know, so we're on the other side, well ahead of that. And those are going to be, there's changes in high school graduation requirements that have come down the pipeline. And so it's interesting to note and to know that our students are in good shape for those changes. So anyhow, that's that.
Very good, thank you. Thank you, board members. I did participate at Prospect High School with League of Women Voters and Get Out the Vote some 2-3 weeks ago, I believe it was. It was really pleasant to talk with the students. They were excited about it. I was also at the NGROTC Awards Night, which was a week ago. That's the first night that all the cadets wear their uniforms, and the promotions that have taken place as a result of last year's are pinned down by their parents. And the whole place, the whole gym was full of parents. It was really, really a really nice night. There will be a blood drive at Rolling Meadows High School on Tuesday from 7:30 in the morning to 1. Versity Blood Center's had it. Students must have a signed permission slip, of course, from their parents. But very important thing. We've heard about the lack of blood at hospitals throughout most of the summer and even in the fall because of COVID. So that's a good thing they're doing. Okay, board members, thank you very much. Now we're at consent items. We have approval items 8.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we have 1 is approval of accounts payable, 2, personal transaction report, 3 is disposal of closed session audio recordings, snow removal and ice control services bid, approval of change board policy, approval of France tour, Prospect High School, Italy tour, Rolling Meadows High School, Italy tour, Prospect High School, Spain tour, Prospect, Ecuador tour, Hersey, and Italy tour, Wheeling High School. Could I have a motion, please, or unless the board wants to pull it?
So moved.
Second. Please call the roll.
Kreutzer.
Aye.
Heineman.
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Rauk.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
And Dessling.
Yes. Action item 9.1, approval of the 2023-2024 budget calendar. Dr. Schuler?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We have rolled the dates forward from this year and the past year's budget calendar for next school year. Obviously, we get started very early in our year. The plan would be that the board approve the calendar at this meeting. We'll then move into the 22 proposed tax levy, which will be heard in November and December. And that in that proposed tax levy, as we've stated earlier, we are planning on recommending an abatement back to taxpayers of a portion of that levy. We'll then be looking in January to develop the 23-24 financial guidelines and assumptions that will allow us to then build out the rest of the budget as we move forward, with the board approving the final budget in next late summer, in August. So we recommend approval of the budgeting process.
Thank you very much. Could I have a motion, please?
Second.
Board members, any comments at this point? Questions from board members? I do have a question. With the property tax for Cook County coming out so late, what's our impact? Is that an impact on us at this point?
Mike, you want to grab the mic, and then Mike is our Director of Business Services.
Mike is on the mic.
Mike's on the mic. Go ahead, Mike.
It shouldn't impact us. It certainly is a concern for the district that, and really all school districts in Cook County, having that tax agency report being pushed out so late. But Cook County actually just emailed us today and said that they should have that tax agency report at the beginning of November, so that should give us plenty of time to have everything ready for that November board meeting.
My understanding is November 10th is the day, if there's any protests, on taxes, that they had to be in by then. That was my understanding, and that's a concern, because if it has to be in that soon, it all has to be done by the end of the year, so it doesn't flip over into next year as far as paying taxes. I'm just wondering how much attention is going to be paid to that by them.
So we are waiting for a communication from Cook County regarding that timeline,
Yeah.
but as far as right now, it should not be a concern, but certainly, having those bills pushed out so late.
So waiting for something from Cook County, situation normal, right?
That's
Yep,
correct.
We'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. Any comments from the members of the audience? Please call the roll.
Heineman.
Aye.
Kreitzer.
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Rauch.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Dessing.
Yes. Now we have a discussion item, academic handbook revisions and curriculum changes. Dr. Schuler?
Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Dr. Lazaro Lopez, our Associate Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, to go through this discussion item for the board.
Thank you, Dave, and members of the board. The 23-24 academic handbook reflects the addition of the state's new computer literacy requirement, minor modifications to current course offerings, and the addition of our new sustainability pathway. The Illinois State Board of Education passed House Bill 2170 in 2021, announcing that they would be adopting K-12 computer literacy standards. The standards were adopted and released in May 2022. Students entering 9th grade in 22-23 school year, which is this year, and each school year thereafter must participate in 1 year of a course that includes instruction in computer literacy, which may be English, social studies, or any other subject, and that may be counted toward the fulfillment of other graduation requirements. The standards include basic operations, concepts in keyboarding, data management and security, internet searching and online databases, and multimedia software applications and collaboration tools. Many of the literacy skills reflected in the standards were already incorporated into our iPad orientation, research projects, and library engagements that occur in each of our freshman through junior year English courses. So by recognizing this focus in multiple years, students that may transfer in during sophomore or junior year will still be able to meet this state requirement. As such, the academic handbook reflects the inclusion of the state's computer literacy requirement into these English course descriptions as referenced in the legislation. We're also excited to announce a new sustainability pathway by our science departments. The first 2 courses in the pathway are being recommended for approval: Introduction to Sustainability, Energy, Environment, and Data, and Applications of Sustainability. The district has engaged in a year-long pathway development process that has included engagement with scientists from the US EPA and corporate representatives from both Meta and Ulta Beauty, along with local employers, teachers, and administrators. Additional courses will be recommended in the coming years as the pathway is fully developed. So this research and development process has identified a variety of career opportunities and potential partners for work-based learning experiences in sustainability. In addition, you'll find a new course aligned with earning a veterinary assistant credential. Students will have the opportunity to participate in hands-on work-based learning experience in a veterinary setting. Both the new sustainability pathway and vet assistant course fall under the state's agricultural, food, and natural resources endorsement area, which Board Member Rauch mentioned. In only the second year of this endorsement program, High School District 214 has led the state with the greatest number of earned pathway endorsements by students. Students who earned the endorsement have participated in team-based challenges, career development activities, a minimum of 60 hours of work-based learning experiences under the supervision of an employer, 2 years of secondary coursework aligned to a post-secondary credential, at least 6 semester hours of early college credit, and they're ready for non-remedial coursework in reading and math. So sort of quite a list of tasks to complete in order to earn that endorsement. And there were 6 different areas that students earned endorsement this last year. So finally, as the board is aware, we've continued expansion of dual credit. We're on target to reach almost 10,000 enrollments with 8 post-secondary partners. And at 6,500 enrollments, Eastern Illinois University remains our community's most valued asset in ensuring our students are graduating with a core of early college credit, including college English, college speech, and college math. So these credits allow students to double major, add a minor, or even increase flexibility in their college schedule. For the class of 2022, 82.8% of graduated seniors successfully completed a college course, with 78.5% identified as college ready by meeting academic or standardized testing benchmarks. And this level of success is occurring at scale among all of our student populations. There's no other high school in the state of Illinois that is offering this value proposition to its families. And we know that this level of access to early college coursework supports self-efficacy, so a student feeling they can be successful, as well as increasing the likelihood of college persistence and completion long term. As always, we continue conversations with university partners to expand early college credit opportunities that may not have reached conclusion, and as those agreements are fully developed, we return to the board for your approval of additional opportunities for our students. And with that, it concludes my overview, and I welcome any questions.
Just the board members first, please, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Palmer.
So, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know there's a direct correlation between attaining a certain point in a college education and then going on to graduate, right? So if you get over a certain hump, you're very likely to graduate, right? Could you speak to that?
Absolutely. So the reality is almost everything we do is purposely targeting helping ensure post-secondary credential attainment. So if a student earns 15 semester hours of credit, they've doubled their likelihood of persistence and completion to college graduation. But that's also the same as far as there's indicators such as the work-based learning experiences. We do them because if a student steps foot on the college campus and they know why they are there and they have a more affirmed sense of self and what their path is, they make better decisions and they're more likely to graduate. So all of these experiences are interrelated for that ultimate goal so a student can earn that degree. We know that is one of the best guarantees to economic mobility.
And so we're also, I think, have a bunch of pathways that don't necessarily result in kids going to college either, right? Because college isn't for everyone out there.
It isn't, but what I would say is I think we're defining post-secondary experiences beyond, when people say college, they tend to think of a four-year university you're going away for. But the reality is that 94% of all new jobs require some kind of post-secondary credential. So when we talk about these post-secondary experiences, you might be going to Harper to finish your commercial HVAC licensing, or a trade school, or a two-year degree, an engineering technology degree. So all of these experiences increase the likelihood of a student persisting to completion. And it also sort of changes the context of their experience. So if we get a student who may have not had high aspirations for themselves and they earn a CNA. So now they're working we have a dozen students at Northwest Community Hospital. Now they're surrounded by doctors and nurses and individuals that have far achieved anything they may have expected. It raises the bar for themselves, which is certainly the goal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Ms. Rauch?
Yes, I have a few questions. So what we're discussing here is the academic programs and pathways guidebook, right? So the written and oral communication, the modifications, that is due to the change in legislation, correct?
Yeah, so it's just the addition, we have to record on the handbook where we're providing, meeting that new state requirement for computer literacy.
Okay, and this will not change the course. This has already been incorporated into the course. It just meets what they're requiring.
So two things I would say. One is, if you look at the standards, some of them are as basic as being able to swipe or log into a secure site. They are from very, very basic to understanding, cybersecurity issues and security. So they're fairly basic, most of them. A lot of that were already incorporated in the course, but I'm sure there's some things that we met with our librarians. The students in these English classes come in, the librarians often have some kind of presentation and information on databases and other things. So they're going to take a look and make sure that they're addressing all the specific skills. So for the most part, I don't anticipate a change in the English courses. They're doing research projects. All of those things lend to the standards that were identified. But I can see the librarian portions, perhaps they might add some more specifics there.
Okay. And the benefit to having this in the English department is that every year a student. So if someone transfers anywhere between 9th and 12th grade, they will have met, and we can then issue a diploma having met
Yes,
that.
because we looked at other courses and other elective areas, but students have 4 years of English, so we can ensure that every student doesn't see this as a barrier for graduation.
Okay, all right. Regarding the sustainability and energy and environment and data, I understand students are excited about that.
They are. They're very, I want you to know, when we investigate pathways, I mean, it's a learning experience for all of us. It's certainly not my area of expertise. I was very surprised at how broad the sector is, and the fact that ESG, environmental sustainability and governance, and how that's become sort of a whole field on its own. And there are all of these perspectives as to what the right background, whether it's scientific background or more of a business background needed in order to pursue those. So I certainly found it fascinating. And it certainly is something that resonates with our students who are concerned about the environment and want to play a role.
And my final question, considering this is for the 2023-2024 year, is regarding the earned honors. I believe we'll be ending our pilot of that, and how will that be incorporated? Do we know yet, or what is the expectation?
We don't know yet. We're still going to look at the first semester data and how those students did in the following courses. But, you know, as we've always said, if somebody is interested in taking a course at another school that's not offered at their school and they're willing to provide transportation, they are able to go to that school for that course.
Okay, and then given the way that it is adjusted in their course schedule and everything, and at the end of the year, everyone will still register for one of the English courses then, or science,
Correct.
or whatever, and then it'll just get adjusted.
Correct, Ms. Rauch.
Thank you.
Other questions, board members? Questions from the public or comments from the public?
Do I sit? Okay, thank you.
Please come up to the podium. The same instructions are still in force for public comment. 3 minutes, please.
Yes, my name is Jean Waters, and I have 2 kids in Elk Grove High School. I've been looking for a copy of the course catalog or academic pathways for the 2023 to 2024 school year. It's supposed to be attached to the agenda here. I didn't see it. So it's hard for me to comment on that. The other thing that I wanted to ask for is that previously the course catalog would disclose all the courses that are offered in each high school. I haven't seen that lately, and I'd have to call or talk to the counselor, and they can't really tell me what's offered in that school. It doesn't give me a big picture of what pathway my children can take, and it varies from year to year, so it's kind of confusing. And actually, anyway, so there are certain courses that my sons would like to take, and they're not able to because for some reason it's not offered this year. So it's quite confusing for us, and I've never really seen a school district where course catalogs were not offered for each high school. Is there a reason for that, Dr. Schiller?
We'll put all of the responses to all your questions.
Okay, and the other question was this new this new program you have where you mentioned it, earned honors. This is new. So when we came in here, we didn't even know, because I transferred my daughter from the Willows Academy to Elk Grove High School. I was surprised that they didn't offer honors and that we have now the earned honors. I have concerns about that. I don't know anything about that program, and I don't know how it will work for her or the other high-performing students. So that is a concern for me. So is there any way that the district could provide us with course catalogs so to see what offerings are, given for each high school so that we can make informed decisions about our kids' education?
Thank you very much. Are there any other comments? Yes, this will come back at the next meeting. We are now at the point
Am
where
I
I'm
able
going-
to, President Dessling, am I able to ask for a discussion on something
Pardon?
else? Am I able to ask for a discussion on something else since this is the discussion time, or since it's not on the agenda?
Well, the discussion item was on the academic handbook and curriculum changes.
Okay, so am I not able to add
Yeah,
anything?
not at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'd like to have a motion to go into closed session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees in the public body under 5 ICL S 120/2, parentheses, C parentheses 1, amended by PA 101459. The setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the district, 5 ILCS 120/2, parentheses, C parentheses 6. And collective negotiating matters between the district and its employees or their representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees under 5 ILCS 120/2, parentheses, C parentheses 2. Immediately following the closed session, the board will reconvene in open session and may take action on result from the closed sessions. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Palmer,
Aye.
Kreutzer,
Aye.
Heineman,
Aye.
Rauk,
Aye.
Walker,
Aye.
Dessling.
Yes.
We'd anticipate closed session taking about 15 minutes, and we would anticipate action coming out.
Okay, we're back in open session, and we do have a action item. Could I have Ms. Palmer please read the action item?
I move that the Board of Education of Township High School District 214 adopt and approve the sale of certain real property to Murphy Glen. The real property is located at 3500 Bluebird Lane in Rolling Meadows, Illinois.
Good. Thank you. Board member comments? Comments from the public? Please call a roll.
Palmer.
Aye.
Kreutzer.
Aye.
Heineman.
Aye.
Rauch.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Dessling.
Aye. Could I have a motion to conclude the meeting, please?
So moved.
So moved.
Second. Please call a roll.
Kreutzer.
Aye.
Heineman.
Aye.
Palmer.
Aye.
Rauch.
Aye.
Walker.
Aye.
Dessling.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
8:18.
much.